Hi, my name is Christopher David Mitchell. I'm a coach, and today we're going to be talking about how to fire your motivation. So I wanted to do this topic today because I'm normally pretty good with motivation, but recently I did have some struggles with motivation. I wanted to share and I wanted to reflect on how I snapped myself out of it. So if you're feeling like you're in a bit of a rut, this will be the perfect video for you to just get you fired up and motivated again. This is particularly difficult at the moment because obviously we're going through this whole pandemic. So a lot of us are maybe working differently or working from home. So it's a different thing to be self-motivated. You really need to fire yourself up. So let's start with some thoughts on this. Okay, so to get the fire going in the motivation, we first just need to understand how motivation works. So it really works in two ways. It works with the pain-pleasure principle. Because as human beings, we're always really motivated by things we're moving away from, i.e. pain, and things we're moving towards, i.e. pleasure. And that's really it, unfortunately. That's sort of what a lot of our lives consist of. Moving away from things we don't like, pain, and moving towards things we do like, pleasure. And so you can use them in different ways and use both of them for a bit of a combined motivation. Now, when a lot of people are motivated, they'll just think of like the things they want in their life, you know, I want to achieve that thing, or I want that house or that car or that relationship or that finance or that business. That's all the positive motivation, which is great. But sometimes when you need a bit of fire under you, then you need a bit of that negative motivation as well. So negative motivation would be the stuff that's in the pain motivation, the stuff you're moving away from. So I don't recommend this as a long-term strategy, but let's just get into it, which is a pain motivation would be, you know, I don't want to be broke. And you have that fear and scared mentality of like what it would feel like to have no money. And then you can whack back into action a lot quicker. Another fear might be, you know, I'm going to have to go to my job or else I'm going to get fired. So there's a pain motivation there of like, what is the pain going to be like if I don't turn up to work? There's going to be consequences, right? Now, like I say, with the pain-pleasure motivation, pain is actually more powerful, probably twice as powerful as pleasure, right? This is the truth. But it's not as long-lasting and it doesn't produce as much fulfillment. But when we're talking about a video like this, of getting you out of a rut, of getting some fire going, sometimes you need a kick from the pain side of life. Like I know when I was going through my health ordeal and out of hospital, I was using both. You know, I had the pleasure motivation of like the life I could see, the life I wanted, the things I visualized that I wanted in my life after, you know, going through so much adversity with the health. But I also had the pain motivation of like, I don't want to be ill, or I don't want to be just sitting around the house anymore. Like it's too painful to me to not mobilize, to not activate, and to not go towards the things that I wanted in my life. So there's some definite pain that I was moving away from. I was also moving away from the situation I was in. So I think both can be very powerful. And really, when you're in a bit of a rut, it comes down to the fact that you're probably too comfortable in life. So I'll say that again because I think it's important. If you're in a rut, you're probably too comfortable in life. If we think about the pain pleasure as a sort of thing here, you're probably somewhere in the middle if you're in a bit of a rut. You know, it can't be too painful for you or else you wouldn't be in a rut. You'd probably be moving to action. If something was too painful for you, like next week they were going to cut off your electricity bills unless you did something, then you would find that you would probably kick into action more, because basically it's sort of like kicking into your lowest survival needs. The more painful it is, the more it kicks into your low survival needs. And if something is so painful that like, if I don't do this, then in 3 days time, I'm going to be out on the streets, you would mobilize, you would move, you would get that fire and you would get into action. So you're probably sitting somewhere around the middle in this comfort zone of it's not so painful, so you don't have to act. And also you probably haven't quite got the positive vision to move towards. So that's where you probably are on this pain-pleasure scale, somewhere in the middle, somewhere in that middle comfort zone. But I noticed that sometimes in my life, when I've had a painful situation and I've really needed to say to myself, if I don't do this, then this is going to happen. Like if I don't go to the gym now, then I'm going to feel bad about my body. Or if I'm not going to go out there now and start a YouTube channel or write that book or make a difference, then I feel like I'm never going to reach the potential in my life. So even though I see the potential, the pleasure, it's also like, but there's like a feeling of like, if I don't do this, then this is what will happen. These are the consequences. And I find for me that they fire me up more. Now, word of warning here. What is more psychologically healthy for you to do is focus on the pleasure. Because there's positivity in pleasure and there's negativity in pain. And what we focus on more of, we'll tend to feel within ourselves. So I would use the pain motivation sparingly, when you need to, when you're in a rut, when you know, I don't want to be like this anymore. I need to take some action now. And the positive's just not enough. Trick yourself and give yourself a bit of that pain motivation. Tell yourself, what will happen if I don't do this? What will be the consequences if I don't do this? I guarantee you that will kick in that fight or flight mode. That will kick in your survival mode, probably just enough to then transfer you onto the pleasure motivation and then continue on with that. Don't keep beating yourself up with the pain motivation, but it's a strong start to get you going, to get that fire under you for your motivation. So I hope that's helped today. Again, understand the pain and the pleasures. Maybe write a list down of something that you want in your life, your goal, something that you are in a rut about, something that you're procrastinating on, and write down the pain and pleasures next to them. What is the pleasures if I do this and if I achieve this and I have this in my life? But what is the pains if I don't? What's the consequences if I don't take this action? Those two together will hopefully get you to motivate towards the thing that you want, and then use the pain motivation if you're particularly in a rut, just to spark a fire in you, and then transfer that to the pleasure motivation for a more positive outlook once you're going, once you're in momentum, once you're in flow. I highly recommend that. So thank you so much everyone for watching. Please, if you like this, then do me a favor and click the like button. It might help people see it a bit more. Share it out with a friend who you think might need to be motivated through this time, or anyone that you think could benefit from this. That would be really appreciated. Check out my website, ChristopherDavidMitchell.com. I'm going to have more courses and coaching there very soon on aspects like this, aspects that I've experienced through going through my adversity, going through my health struggle, and at points being aware of like, what is motivating me, losing my motivation and thinking, how do I re-motivate myself back onto the path that I want for my life to keep growing. So I hope it's helped. Check out the website, like I say, and keep in touch. And let me know in the comments actually what you prefer. Do you feel like you get that fire of motivation more from the pain motivation, stuff you're moving away from, or the pleasure motivation, stuff that you're moving towards? Which one works for you the best? And maybe it's that balance, like so many things in life, of a little bit of both. Knowing yourself so well that you can give yourself that kick of fire through the pain and that beautiful vision through the pleasure motivation. All right, till next time. Stick with me here. There's going to be so many more videos. I'm not going anywhere on this. I'll let you know how I get on with the book. Keep in touch and let's be on this journey of growth together.